Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Turn the Page. And I just wanted to let everyone know we have Fran is in the house again, and she'll be coming. She's sitting in the green room right now, but she'll be coming out, and she's going to talk about our health and the kids. And she's basically going to be doing what I would say her perspective and how she feels about things, and it's really moving information. We all have a good idea that it's always been about the children. That's why we all got into this, and what we learned as how many levels, how many dynamic levels there have been. But in the meantime, I did want to let everybody know. Oops, I did want to let everybody know that I have a Rumble channel out there, and I want to introduce this to everybody. If you are on YouTube, jump over to my Rumble channel. It's called Turn the Page with Janine. And just take a look. I have a lot of good information out there. It's randomly selective as I get it. Some of the things are political, geopolitical, some of the stuff about the past. If you were, there's a video out there called "You Really Want to Know What Q Is." Then there are other ones that are just fun musical type of things. I have some with Dan Bongino out there, which is the current one. It says "No more IRS, no more taxes." Use your discernment on all of these videos out here, but I put them out there for you to see what is out and available out there. I have one really good video. There is a gentleman out there now, and I'm going to be tracking him myself. And it says, check out Doge update, guys. So everything that Doge is doing in finding the money, if you will, then tracing the money, he is actually reporting it. So he's giving you a list of what has been conspired all the way up until up until now. And this is Elon Musk, and Elon Musk has a committee, and this committee is out there, and they're reporting back to us. If you don't follow X, this is a really good thing, because all these videos that I'm getting are out on X. So if you're not an X person, you don't want to go out there, you don't want to set up an account, but you do have a Rumble account, check this out. I mean, my shows are also linked out there live. Also, I've got a lot of things about the airplanes and stuff like that. Is this just a movie that we're watching? And so on and so forth. So if you see something out there and you like it, just hit that like out there for me, and I appreciate it. Now I want to come back to Fran here, and let's see here. I'm going to let's do this here. Okay, so I'm going to bring Fran in now, and she is in the green room. And everybody, say hello to Fran. Hello, Fran.
Hi everyone.
Hello, how are you doing today, Fran?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. We sat around the pool today. It was warmer here, and I'm sure you've got it even warmer. You're further south, Florida, but it
Finally,
was it was so beautiful just to sit
right?
around. We've got it all done. We're enjoying the sound of the waters, having the sun hit us. Just enjoying the day. That's basically it. And I did go to my chair yoga. I'm doing chair yoga.
How,
I said it yesterday in the chat, and everyone thought I said Cheerios, but no,
no, I know. How do you like it?
I love it. This woman is remarkable. She goes about 2 hours
Did you do
doing.
the app or you're doing it online?
I'm actually going to a physical place. It's
Oh,
actually
really?
at it's actually at our, and everybody should look into this. It's at our senior center, because this cheer yoga is so popular right now and everybody is kicking this thing off. They had overextended themselves. There must have been 50 people in this room. It was a huge room. And I obviously, a lot of people knew each other because they were constantly going. They all recognized that I was new, and they all came over to let me know, what was under my chair and how I had to use it. And it was just, it was really nice. So I'm in an area where nobody is from this area. We're all transplants, and everybody's retired, and everybody just wants to just get along with everyone, and I love it. So if you haven't, the best thing I could say to go and do is go into a facility if you can to do the chair yoga. There were more men doing this than women.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Shock.
And then as you walk through the facility, on the other side was all the men playing day games, card games and stuff like that.
Oh, it's a senior
So
center.
it was something that I could see that the community in the town that I'm in, and it's just not for my town. People come from all over to do this, and all the other towns, Gulf Shores has it, Orange Beach has it also. But it was really good to be with people like that. So if you can check it out, anybody in your neighborhood.
Oh, I will.
Let's see, your decoder is out on Rumble and says, I did chair yoga. I love it. This woman was phenomenal, basically letting us know to keep breathing. And that's what I was doing. I was still breathing. So back to you, Fran.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So, my concerns today are the children. It's going back to the kids. I have grandchildren. My daughter is starting to worry. She's a little bit awake, but she listens. And we're concerned. Do we send the kids to school? Do we not send the kids to school? When's it going to be cleaned up? I saw on X, and I'm sure you saw it, it was all over the place. That crazy teacher from the kindergarten or first grade putting LGBT stuff and transgender stuff all over her room. And everybody was saying that he put an EO out, he put an executive order out saying that they can lose their funding if a teacher does that. And I'm sure if a teacher does that, she's going to lose her job too. I mean, how rude can you be? Or, is she begging to get fired? Who knows? It's just,
Well, I think that's all going to go away. That's what I'm seeing out there. Hey, I'm just going to ask people. I don't think I'm hooked up to Rumble. I'm just going to ask them. I did this at the last minute, but it will go up recorded. I'm just going to ask Decoder. Well, she must have heard me say I did chair yoga, so I'm not sure why I'm so delayed here. But is anybody out on Rumble? Give me a thumbs up. Any Rumble rants? Please do. I appreciate it. So, yeah, let's talk about the children here. And, I'm seeing more and more people are. So, we were all trying to figure out what's up, what's not up, and, in other words, the last 4 or 5 years, we were just decoding stuff all day long.
I know.
Now that we're at a place that I can tell you it's a big relief, right? Trump's in there, everyone go,
Oh,
ah, thank God. Now it's about the children.
now it's back to the children. Yeah, I think we're all finally getting our feet back on the ground. It's been, woo, and finally he's here. We're grounding and we're remembering our roots and why we started. And I don't know how much they're going to tell people when the truth comes out. I have a feeling not much. Who cares at this point? As long as it's cleaned up, really, does it matter? I mean,
Yeah.
no.
No, so today's current events was they had the vice president going out back to East Palestine, Ohio, where 2 years ago that train wreck, and he was out
Yeah,
there. He was out there a couple of times. So what's really good to see, it's almost as if now they're going back and they're saying we're going to clean up the mess that the last administration or last residents didn't take care of. But you're more concerned with, I think with RFK being certified, I'm still waiting on that. I don't know if he's been certified to come into the administration yet. I think they're going to fight that.
yeah,
But I feel very confident that there's going to be a lot done today. Trump did a lot more signing of executive orders. But moving forward with the children, I've had so many people on my show that have written spiritual books. And I would hold up a book and go, this is the kind of book that needs to be in college. Book needs to be in high school. It's, even the kindergartners need to know what chakras are, right? And
yes,
that's where I would love to see the administration move to. I can't remember who's in charge of the school administration, but anybody out in the chat can help me out. I appreciate it. So, Fran, if you had one wish, and I know that
yes.
everybody's going to stay away from any of this, any of the things that they can. when a baby is born, the first thing they do after it takes its first breath, they
A
give it the
needle.
shot. And it's heartbreaking. I didn't know that until RFK started talking about this. So
I didn't either. And my daughter doesn't vax the kids. And when I heard him say it, I said to her, they had to because she's clueless. And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know?
because she's so busy, and but I think that's all going to change. You talk about vibration and frequencies and all that other stuff. I think it's all going to change at some point where they're not going to be sending these notes back to the parents saying, I remember my niece, so she's 26 years old now, and she was going into high school, and they were trying to give her that one shot that helps prevent cancer. I don't want
Garcia.
to say it. I don't want to say it, but I was fighting with my sister. God rest her soul. But yeah, I couldn't understand it. And then I said, because I was still stuck in the old mindset that, hey, by the time I got to high school, I had all my shots. I didn't realize that they were carrying them on through high school and college, then into the workplace. But it's neither here nor there. Now we just know that we got to take care of the kids.
You know, remember I told you I lost all my money and I lost my insurance and all of that, which started me on my spiritual journey. It's funny how God works. I just lost my insurance and I was going to have my daughter go get those shots because my secretary kept bugging me about it. She was a stickler for that. And she got one shot and then I had to let go of the insurance and she couldn't get the rest. And I was like, wow, what a blessing that was. I was
Yeah.
protected. We were protected. And at the time, of course, I thought it was awful. I felt terrible, but they were really expensive. And I was like, no, no.
Well,
But I
Fran,
was,
all that I could tell you is that, when you start saying this generation or that generation, we sound like our grandparents used to. But there has been so much that has happened in the schools that we're not even aware of. I mean, when you've been removed from, and I don't have kids, so I don't, there's no grandchildren, so I don't know what has been going on in the school systems, right? So, but this is, the minds that they have molded into these kids today. They, if somebody says jump, they say how high. When we were younger, we used to get teased. If your friends jumped off a bridge, would you do that too?
that's right.
No,
That's,
but today, yes, they would. So it's all going to be changing. I do believe it's all going to be changing for the children in the near future, and I have to put my faith in God on that.
oh, I believe it will. I believe enough is enough. I really do. And I think too many of us are waking up now. They have to change. It has to change because we, the
Yeah.
people, are now in charge. But the society hasn't gotten that far yet. But eventually, that's where we'll be.
Right.
That that will be the golden years. We will be dictating, not them. That's right. We have to stand up and fight for what we want. It can't be given. And Janine, it's just like having children. You can't give them everything. They have to work for it, or else they'll never appreciate it. Life
Well,
doesn't work that way.
just by me watching videos, no matter on what social media site, Facebook, I really never paid attention to Instagram, and I did the other day. If you want to look up anyone on Facebook, and if they're out on Insta, they have an Instagram channel or whatever it might be. Google it, all sends you. I love how they've all worked together. And they send you to Instagram. So if you want to see something, you got to open up an Instagram channel. It's just crazy the way that they still are controlling our mind with social media. And that's another thing that I don't know who's going to be in charge of social media in the near future. If anybody has any idea, if you're hearing anything out there right now, what I think that they're doing is they're focusing on the big fish out there, right? The border, the canal, those type of things. They got Mark Rubio out there traveling. So they're getting rid of the bigger issues, and then as each state will be able to control what they need to control at the state level, and I think that's where Trump is going to throw it back.
Oh
He's doing
yes,
what he's got to do at the federal level.
yeah, I believe that. Yeah, he's got to clean up the mess first, and it's not done. I don't think it's done. I think he's almost there, but he's not there yet. Or else, they would start disclosing by now. Everybody's saying maybe March. We'll see. We've heard March how many times before.
Yeah.
But I do have faith in him, and I feel so relieved that he's back. Um, like I said, I listen to Jarrett Rand, and anytime I get a little crazy, because I was getting nuts with the airplanes, like I was really getting into it myself, trying to figure out, you know, yes, we know it's a false flag, but why? Like, why would they kill the kids? But when Jarrett said that, I was like, oh, I felt so much better. Maybe it wasn't children, just like the Challenger. I mean, we don't know what they're up to. They lie all the time about everything. So until disclosure happens, we don't really know. But I
Well,
will tell you,
there's only going to be so. I mean, it's going to all take so much time. I mean,
it has been.
we're starting our third week.
Yeah, and it has been. Right, right.
All you guys out there that have been awake, we're only in our third week. We need to give the executive orders. We've got to get everything at the much higher, bigger level. Then we could start to go down and think about other things. And we've talked about this. Everybody has talked about every topic out there that is evil, and we're aware of it. And a lot of people are saying, well, if they put it on mainstream media news, it's not going to happen that way. I'm telling you, it's never going to come out that way unless Elon Musk buys up every one of these news
Yeah,
stations, right? And I don't think that's going to happen either.
I
There's
don't think
only,
so.
I guess he's got enough money to buy the world. He really does. um,
But I believe that's not really him either, which really drives me insane because they say that
another
Trump is in
another
Cheyenne.
2.0, right?
What I say, and I ask all the psychics, and I never get a straight answer. Um, is everybody fake? Because the real Trump is hiding in Cheyenne. I I don't think I've seen the real Trump in years, Janine. Years. And then Elon, we know, is wearing some kind of mask. And now I hear Robert Kennedy is not the Robert Kennedy. So who's real? Is our whole government? I mean, are we literally watching for real a movie with all actors
Yeah, yeah.
and just the generals that are running the show with Trump behind the scenes, really running things? Because they say it's still the military that's in charge,
I don't know if you could get tripped up on that all day long,
right?
and and a lot of people will, a lot of channels out there will do that to you. Those, even the JD Vance thing, everyone is saying it's not him, and I'm getting to the point where I'm just gonna
Oh, yeah.
um, I'm going to be able to decipher what I think is the truth or not truth. People are saying he's only 5'11" and he's standing, over 6 feet tall. I really don't care. The height of it is not a deal breaker for me. The blue eyes, everyone says that it's the kid that got killed in the car accident.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
I heard that.
I think everybody is stretching a little bit just so that, you know, look at it this way, okay? I heard something really good, and I think I might have bookmarked it, but pretty much the deep state has been running all these influencer channels.
Yeah, heard that too. Anybody that is hooked up with the wellness company.
Yeah. So let's see here. Decoder out on Rumble says Trump said Elon was from another planet. Yeah, he did say that. He
He
did
did
say
say
that.
that. I know,
Yeah.
bizarre. But what's going on with those two? There was
No,
a
Trump has made it really clear that he's been distant from Elon. Elon can't get to him if he wanted to. His secretary, whatever her name is, I can never remember her name. The woman that put in place to protect Trump, he actually, Elon's Doge committee is moved into another area. So all the stuff that he's finding, he's basically asked for a bunch of volunteer whiz kids out there to go in, dig into our financial system for the United States, right? And find all the stuff where the money was laundried, all the bullshit. And
You don't think
that's
they
it's
know
so
that by now? You don't think they know that by now?
I I think it was no, I don't think that they have all the facts and the data on that. And there's a guy out there that I said early on in my channel that's he's called the I don't know, he's called the Doge guy or something like that. He's basically every time he finds something that Elon has dug into, he's giving you an update. He's giving you the list. There's so much. There's no way that they can know all that. Just being in getting access to this information within the last 3 weeks, it all depends on your mindset. If you want to believe that Trump has been running this country for the last 10 years, yeah, they have all that information. If you want to believe that he just came back to second term, it all depends on what you believe or where your mindset is on any of this. I probably don't want to make a comment on that.
I think I think the government has been, hopefully our generals have been securing everything for the last 10 years with Trump.
Well, then I want that disclosed. I want to know about that because everybody's saying they want to know everything else. But if you're going to get that close to it, I think that they should be able to share that with us. Will they share it with us in the third week of administration? No.
They're not ready for disclosure.
So here's something that's been coming out, and I've only seen it posted in a couple of places. There's a journalist that uncovered something pretty important, that the IRS is using AI to access bank accounts. And so if you owe the IRS and you just ignored them, because a lot of people out there have done that, they're going right into your bank account and taking the money out.
Are you
Now, I
kidding
had
me?
Louis Hanshaw on my channel 2 weeks ago that said that I forgot. Maybe he lived in Spain and he went back to UK. Now he's in Dubai. He's traveling the world, but he said he's already known in Spain that they were doing this. You owe money. You've got the money sitting there. They're going in and they're taking it.
Wow.
So a Shadow of Ezra says that the American citizens, without any warrant or justifiable causes, are losing their money to the financial records, the IRS. Now, again, where's your belief system? So many people say the IRS is going to be abolished, the feds are going to be abolished. A lot of people are saying a lot of different things. And then you get this type of story that just came out yesterday. It's really hard to believe what you think that you're supposed to believe at this point in the game. If anybody,
I saw that little girl, that little girl that goes to Washington, D.C. every day. She calls herself Nancy Drew. She's on television. Okay. She actually did one day, and I took a picture of it. The Federal Reserve absolutely boarded up and closed.
Yeah.
So people are getting letters out of Chicago. Or Ohio, somewhere Midwest. It's a shitty little office that they continuing, which I believe is the CIA. I don't believe it's the Rothschilds, because I saw, and I was going through my records today trying to look for so many things. I say so much, but nothing's filed. I remember when, oh God, now I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, and also to just add to that, the money being taken out, Colleen was making a statement, credit card companies do it also. But here's something else. You were saying that Nancy Drew, I call her flip-flops because that's all she ever wore was flip-flops. And I think out on X, she's called Q-Mom. But you know what? So many people are awake, and she sounds like she's so far out there, out on X. A lot of people are attacking her because she's saying a lot of things that were said maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm not sure who was saying all this, but in any case, let's come current. A former senior advisor to the Federal Reserve, John Harold Rogers, he's been arrested for allegedly conspiring to steal trade secrets for the benefit of the people of the Republic of China. While in China, he secretly shared the stolen information during a secret meeting in a hotel. So I'm going to just share my screen with you guys and show you this here. This just came out yesterday. So we're kind of talking about, okay, I'll make sure I got the right, nope. I think it's number 1. Okay, so this is the story. It came out yesterday. How many of you guys believe in Shadow of Ezra? How many of you followed him? But here it is. They're actually showing him here. He was having a meeting in a hotel. Where did it go? And let's see here. While in China, she's stolen the information during a secret meeting in a hotel while pretending to teach classes at a local university. He's facing up to 15 years in jail. Okay, so if I click on this here, hopefully it'll take me to, so this is, what is this? Okay, so this is, I guess, DC. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
This is China.
China.
Okay, they got him in China. And this is the guy. So now you're saying, okay, well, they boarded up DC. That's right, but there's still going to be other facilities that are still going to be open. Yeah, and it's just Jacob Stay is saying in Kansas too. So yeah, they're still functioning, but at what level I don't know.
So what I was forgot, and now I just remembered. I remember seeing paperwork on when Trump dissolved the IRS, when it was going to be the last day that the Rothschilds had the banking system. And that was like, I want to say 2022, but I'm not sure. And I was looking for that paperwork today and I can't find it, but it's somewhere. But I have to organize myself. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to get another laptop because I'm not happy with the lighting on this at all. I can hardly see.
Oh, well, do what you have to do on your end there. All right, so I'm going to switch subjects and then I'll let you get to your links here and talk about what you want to talk about. Let me just show this. This is Atlanta. I think it's Atlanta, Georgia. All right, this is the. I'm just going to play it. There's no sound. There's music.
Wow.
It's Mexican music, but I don't want to play it. Yeah, they've been protesting yesterday, last 3 or 4 days, in different in LA.
And nobody's arrested.
That's just it. Why? Where is Tom Home and his people?
Right.
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're American citizens. Maybe that's why they're doing this. They're protesting across the country. They want to fly their flag. They want to live here. They want all the benefits of the United States, but they want to still fly their own flag.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't make the rules. That's just it.
Yep. So are you ready to share your information? And before you do that, I just want to make an announcement. Next week, I have Brad Johnson coming in. I think I was supposed to book him 2 weeks ago, and he wanted me to book him that week, but he was getting ready to fly out. And I forgot what country he was going to. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I think he's got another book out, if I can recall. And then also, too, I'm going to have Pasta Grammar on Thursday, I think it is. It's the 10th and the 12th. I'm going to be doing those 2 shows.
Pasta what?
Pasta Grammar.
Oh, okay.
It is, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. I just love they've got a huge channel. They've been together about 5 years. American, it's American man, and his name is Harper. He met this woman who came from Italy, and she's got a cooking show, and I just bought her cookbook because I want it for my channel. But she's showing you how to cook the way that you do in Italy, and she's from southern Italy, but she travels all around Italy, and she basically will tell you what part of Italy and how they cook things and the different names of it. So now that she just became an American citizen, they are married now. I think they've been married about 4 or 5 years, and And so what he does, and it's funny, they're really funny together. He'll say, "Come on, let's go to." I'm trying to think of a American Italian restaurant that's really not Italian. But she'll go in there and
Carrabba's.
try. What?
Carrabba's. Carrabba's.
Yes.
Mhm.
She talks about the pizza and she tells you this is not really pizza. She will always, it's her version of it. She's got a very heavy Italian accent, and I have to have the CC on when I'm listening to her. But she cooks the way that my mother did. And I always thought that watching other American Italian mothers cook was, I thought my mother didn't cook correctly. And then I
Oh,
saw her and I stood straight up and I said, that's the way my mother cooked. And so, and of course, these are recipes from my great aunt and how they cooked and when they came to America. But yeah, so I'm going to have them on, and I'm very nervous about it, Fran.
why?
I don't know what to ask them because I kind of adore both of them so much. But if I get a chance, and I think it's on the 12th, on the 12th, if you're available, I'll pull you in.
You
All
know,
right.
my mom was born in America, but her dad passed away when they, they were very young. My mother was 7. And so my grandmother had 4 children and she took them back to Italy. So I cook Italian. I cook, but
Yeah.
Napolitan because they were from Naples. So, and
Yeah.
then my family used to joke with my uncle who was from Sicily. He would cook and make his food different, and they would always argue. No, mine's better. But
Yeah.
um,
Well, that's what my grandparents do. They were from two different dialects, two different parts of
yeah,
Italy. And
they're
my
hysterical.
grandfather would always make comments about the cooking. So my mother learned both the dialects and learned both of the ways of cooking and stuff like that. And but all I can say is my great aunt Jean, who I was named after, was the best cook of ever.
Really,
But anyways, we'll get back to, and so Bucks is Olive Garden. So this is what they did when she became an
there you go.
American citizen. Her husband Harper took her to Olive Garden, had her blindfolded, finally got her there. He's been waiting 6 years to show her Olive Garden. Gets in there and she says, "Oh," and it's so funny how she says his name. "Oh, Harper, I'm not gonna want this food. No, I think I know about it." So as they go in there and they pretty much will tear apart what she'll say.
Oh, do
This is
they?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's really good. And then she just did a show which amazed me on different types of flour and the consistencies of these flours to make bread, whether you're making bread or cheese
Semolina
pasta,
or
so on and so forth. But that's for another day. I don't want to get everybody hungry here. All right.
well,
So
let
what do you
me
got?
know. I'd love to come on. I mean, that's me through and through. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we all cook. My entire family and my aunts. They all lived in Italy, and so my mother was much more Italian than my dad. And she used to make fun of him because if he spoke it, he was from America and he chopped it up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, they're just crazy, but I love them.
Yeah, if you get a chance, go on YouTube and look up pasta grammar, Grammar. And the reason why, obviously, it's all about the pasta, but she teaches Italian. I think to whoever wants to learn it is where she came from, but it's a very heavy Italian accent, and
Mhm.
their chemistry together it's better than some of the shows on TV. It really
Husband
is.
and
So
wife, husband and wife.
yes, they're husband and wife, and I think what she did is his father traveled to the part of the country where she's from. I'm trying to think of the name. I can't think of the name of the town, but anyways, he went there. He met her and said, "If you ever want to come to America, look me up." And he was all the way in Maine, and she did. They made the arrangements, everything, and then Harper, her husband now, happened to fly in right around Thanksgiving, and happened to fly in, and her father says, "Why don't you take her back to her hotel? Drive her home." And she didn't have a rental car or anything like that, and that's how they met.
How
And it
sweet.
was almost like instantly they fell in love with each other.
How
It's a beautiful
sweet.
love story.
Yeah.
Uh, Dakota out on Rumble says, "My husband married me because I'm Italian and I can cook." Yes, What's the old saying? The best way to a man's heart is through
It's
his stomach.
cooking, through his cooking. Yes. Yes. See now, and I mean, we all cook, and would you believe my daughter wants nothing to do with it? I can't even believe it.
Well, I did too. I did too. You
No,
kind of
it didn't
because
interest you.
what the way that I grew up, everything was pasta. Guess what? I'm back to that now. Watching her show for like a week. My husband says he's 100% German, so called, and all he eat meat and potatoes. Right? He's that kind of guy, and I went that way being married to him. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I want, I want this. I want all my pasta. So we started making our own breads and started cooking together.
Mm,
And my mother and my great aunt make the best lasagna. And every time I go to a restaurant, and that's one thing they say is never, never, never order lasagna or spaghetti in a restaurant, which my mother always used to say, because
yes.
you can make it at home,
My
right?
mom said the same thing. Yes. Never go, never have Italian. Very seldom, except
Yeah,
the good New York. Well, I live 12 miles outside New York City, and there were some really good restaurants. I mean, really good, but only there, nowhere else.
yeah.
I'm in
Well,
Florida now. We can't
yeah, you came from New
compare.
York, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and so that's where they everybody came in,
Hmm.
and then of course my family, all of them, the brothers and sisters and everyone, they came in and they were in Chicago. They stayed in Chicago. That whole generation stayed there. I think it was my mother's generation. My mother was probably the first one to kind of say, "I'm going to move." I think my grandfather did move also, but if your last name was Cavallone, you were from Chicago and you were related, and
Hmm.
it's still that way to this day.
Wow. Well, I'm sure that the Chicago neighborhoods were just like New York and New Jersey. Very,
Exactly.
yes. And
Yeah.
it seemed like they always congregated to one particular area.
Yeah.
Which,
So what
I
is it? Leah on the screen here. It's so funny. My mother would run us out of the kitchen too. We were not allowed in the kitchen. So I tried to. I have the same way when my husband is in the kitchen. We always had bigger kitchens, and today we've got a smaller one. And if he's in there, it's like cleaning a house. You don't want him in. You got to get rid of him.
yeah, unless your house is really big and you can both move in the kitchen. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I don't
All
like
right. So,
anybody in my kitchen when I'm cooking. Get out of my way. Because I go fast.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
tell
yeah, I do
you.
too. And I know where everything is at, and so I don't know. I've got my mother's issues.
Hello. You think?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because I've turned into my mother. Even when I look in the mirror now, I'm like, oh, that's my mom.
I know, me too. Me
Uh,
too.
Colleen has a statement out there. Says I'll never forget some of the strange things my mom made us eat, like sandwiches with white bread, butter, grape jelly, and Velveeta cheese. My husband still eats that.
Oh
That's
my
his
God.
that's his go-to.
Really? Wow. Grape jelly and Velveeta. Not
Yeah.
fluff. Didn't you have fluff? Do you
Oh
remember
yeah, yeah,
fluff
yeah.
and
The
others?
fluff stuff. Yeah. Let's see what else there. Hula hoops got a statement. My good friend Hula Hoop says my husband married me because I hula hoop. Yes.
Good for you. Hopefully he does the cooking.
Yeah, really. Well, her husband is Dr. Ken, and all right. So what fluff or nutter? That's what Colleen is saying. Fluff or nutter?
That stuff is delicious. That and
It's not
peanut
any
butter.
good for you, right?
Oh, forget it. Anything that's good for you, you can't eat.
Yeah,
Anything that
yeah,
tastes good. I'm glad though they're starting to come back with eat olive oil. It's starting to come back to our old roots again. And it's
yeah,
funny that you said, I'm going back to it also because when I was married, my husband was meat and potatoes too. And I kind of did, pleased him, and that's what I made. And I did Atkins because it was easy. And then 20 years of no Italian and no bread, Janine. Oh my God.
It'll
I
make me
finally,
crazy.
I said, that's it. I can't do it anymore. Give me bread.
Well, that's when I decided about a year ago that he could cook whatever he wants and eat whatever he wants, but I'm gonna cook and eat the way that I like to because I gave up so much of it. He does a lot of the baking. He loves to be a chef. But it's just not the type of meals that I want. He'll be sitting there watching something on YouTube and he'll see like blueberry pie, and all of a sudden he gets up and goes, I'm gonna make a blueberry pie.
Wow. Go right ahead. That must be nice.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
I
So what do you have for us now that we covered the food segment?
well, it was, about the children. And the first thing was, if we have young parents or people that want to homeschool, I think it's something to think about. It seems like President Trump is giving an allowance for mothers that want to stay home and homeschool, which I think is fantastic. And
All right.
what
If you
I
want to
learned,
share, you got something to share over there.
yes,
So
yes. So
okay,
yeah, I'm
I'll
prefacing.
see it. Let me explain it to you. I'll see it on my side, and then I'll present it on the screen.
Okay, so here it is, and she's going to talk about when when you have the children, and
Oh,
it's
I see.
best
You're
to
giving
stay
me the
home.
link.
It's best
Okay.
to stay home, and all the studies show the opposite. And this is how I raised my daughter, and I can tell you this is exactly what works. 20 years
Okay.
later,
So
it's finally
because
coming out the
can you
truth.
can you share that because I have to have. It looks like it's going to Instagram. I don't have an account out there for Instagram, so I can't
It
log
won't
into it.
go in unless you have it.
Yes, it's a sign up for Instagram. That's what I get.
Oh, all right.
Oh wait,
Uh,
wait, wait, wait. Is
just like
what?
X, you don't need a
Hold on. I just clicked on something. You tell me if this is it.
It's a,
Uh, hold on. Is this it?
yes. And in the corner is the yes, the right corner is, there you go.
Okay, let me start. There's
Where
their.
they flip a switch and they say, I'm not going to care anymore. If you flip that switch every day, your baby is going to start to flip that switch too. They think that it's benefiting them socially. No, just no. I can debunk that myth. If you had to say, okay, you are the ideal candidate for daycare, who is that person? I don't think anybody's a good candidate. I wish that a single mother would get together with another single mother and hire a babysitter. There are moms who say, well, my child has been in daycare since they were 6 weeks old and they're fine. Sometimes the symptoms come out in early childhood. Sometimes they'll come out in middle school. What is better for part-time moms? To work every day a little bit. Why is it crucial for moms to not repress feelings of guilt? When we tell women to ignore their guilt, we are not doing any favors to those women, and we are definitely not doing any favors to their children. Online, mothers are told just ignore your guilt. You're basically telling mothers to shut down their sensitive, empathic nurturing, which is critical to the survival of that child. We're talking about an epidemic of mental illness in children and adolescents, which I think is rooted in the way we raise our children from a young age.
20 years.
Okay,
My neighbor
so
told me that 20 years ago. Do not put your child in daycare. And when I became awake, I realized they wanted us to get two salaries, those SOBs. And I did not put my daughter in daycare. I mean, I always had my own business. I would stay up with her all day. I would put her to bed, and then I would do my work at night. And if it took me all night, it took me all night. But I would not let anybody watch her but family or me. And that was it. And not to brag, but she's really a good kid. And she hardly gave me any trouble, just a little bit. But I noticed my house was always the fun house. And I would always let them come to my house because I would want to see what they were doing. As a matter of fact, they use the term, have you ever heard helicopter mom?
yeah.
Okay, well, she used to use it all the time and think that I wasn't, but I most certainly was. She just didn't know it. You know? But I would always want the children to come to my house, so I would listen to what they were saying and always hear what was going on. Because if they're at somebody else's house, how do you know what's happening? And nowadays with the pedos, oh my God, you don't know the fathers. And now it's not even really families anymore. The families are so broken. Parents have boyfriends and who knows what. I wouldn't want my children or grandchildren going anywhere but my own house at this point. As a matter of fact, here we think we're safe. My kidnapping went off today. The alert, like a child was stolen today, Florida.
Oh,
Yes, we get them. We get them. We still get them. And my heart sank. Yeah, you would think we're safe. We're not safe yet. We're not safe. They're still looking for the adrenochrome. Who's ever left? There's got to be some left.
yeah. I know a lot of people are starting to point out things, which was hidden in movies and all that other stuff. I've seen all that, and yeah, we. They basically would make it was real close to what the government did, the Parenthood, whatever it was called, that group. If it wasn't the abortion thing, it was, well, just put your child in daycare.
Mhm.
So
And I'll tell you, there was an article. I tried finding it, but I couldn't find it. It was a couple of weeks ago on Instagram. Somebody did another little video, and he said basically the same thing. It's so much healthier if you stay with your child. And let's think about that. Like, why would you want a stranger to raise your child? It's not your child then. I mean, I don't get it.
Fran, I didn't even want a stranger coming into my house to walk my dogs when I was working. Let alone a child. Yeah, even though my dogs, I've always had dogs.
Yeah. Oh.
But people do what they have to do because they've got to put food on the table, and that's the sad part about it. Not again. There's so many different levels of
I don't know,
income out
Janine.
there.
I had no money. We weren't making anything. And I said, I don't care if I got to eat pasta every day of the week. I'm not going to put her in daycare after my neighbor told me that. And you think about it, you go on social media, look at social media with the selfies. It's so nauseating. I mean, everybody's in love with themselves. They're all narcissistic, for God's sakes. There's not many healthy people left. And why? Because they didn't bond with the parents. It makes so much sense. And I had agreed with the guy that did the video, the one that I was looking for, because the comments were classic. And they were all arguing with me about studies say that I'm wrong. And you know how they are. It was just like with the COVID thing. They're still brainwashed. They're still brainwashed. And they're still into the feminine BS, the feminine movement. And it's BS. And trust me when I tell you, I've always been a businesswoman. You can be a businesswoman and raise a family at the same time. It can be done.
Oh yeah.
It could be done.
Well, everybody says, "Can you have it all?" Sure, you can have it all. We just can't have it all at the same time. It'd all be there at different parts. At some point, control freaks, you've got to let go. Let me show you this. I'm going to divert. Hold on. Hold your thought about the children, but I want to show you something because I noticed this today. This is completely off subject here, and I apologize, but today, Trump was signing executive orders in the Oval House, and Fran made a comment by saying, Trump isn't Trump. If you guys can look at this man's hands signing this executive order. These are not the hands of an 80-year-old man.
Yeah, good point.
I don't know how good you guys can see this on your device there, but I've got it on my big screen here. Skinny fingers. Who is this masked man?
All those pictures, all the memes, it's not him. It's not him.
It's just something that I thought about it when I was watching it, and then I just ran across it just now. So, all right.
Yeah. If you see his younger pictures, it doesn't even look like him anymore. And there's so many. I had a meme with 4 different Trumps, and they're all different. It's funny.
Same mask. Same facial structure, different hair.
So how did they make him talk exactly like him? Is it all through the high times? Do they
It's
put a
voice
box?
modulation. It's voice modulars against AI. There's so many ways that they can do it. You know, you think that you're watching Tom Cruise today on TV. You're not watching Tom Cruise.
That's right. That's right. It's AI.
So yeah.
Well, that AI is pretty scary. Let me tell you. I don't want
Well,
to.
let's get back. I'm going to pull you back into the kids here. Leah says my kids didn't go to daycare. Me and my husband,
There you
they
go. Good for
they did
you.
they worked different shifts, and it's exactly what my in-laws did. My mother, and I'm surprised I turned out okay, because she worked how many jobs? Jeez, she would work like a full-time job and then a part-time job, and then when she got a little bit older, she did some real estate. She was there for us, but you know, it was almost, how do I put this? When I was little, if my mother said, "You sit here and you be good," guess what? I sat there and I was good. And you know, I had a younger sister and I had an older sister that was a wild child. So my older sister got in trouble all the time, and I didn't want to get in that trouble. So I was kind of like, all
You're
right,
in the middle. That's the
I'm
middle
gonna keep my
child.
mouth shut. I'm gonna be the good one. I took that role.
I was the bad one. I was the
Yeah.
youngest. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was the rebel. Hmm.
My
Yeah.
my sister, my older sister always said to us, "I broke mom in for you guys." But we didn't get in trouble.
Italian moms are strict. My mom was
Oh,
strict.
how about the, you know, and people laugh. Yes, there were wooden spoons. There was, what was that one, what was that one game where you took a paddle and a ball?
Um,
Well, anyways,
paddleball,
paddle
paddleball,
ball. Yeah.
paddleball.
Well, it once that rubber band broke and the ball was gone, that paddle, my
Oh
mother
yeah,
saved it.
Janine.
And she could, well, no, that everyone would say they would get hit with a shoe. My mother never threw a shoe, but I remember my older sister just getting in all kinds of shit and I saw the stress in my mother. She was a young mother, so she could chase her around the kitchen table, the dining room table,
I
that
did it
type of
with my
thing, you
stepson.
know.
I
But
did it with my stepson. I can't tell you how many wooden spoons I broke. Because I'm 5 foot and he was 6 foot, so he could run really fast. I'd run around the house after him.
yeah,
It's in our blood, you know. And now today with the kids, um, oh my God. So my daughter's generation, like 30 something, they want to do something called gentle parenting. Have you heard of it? Oh, Janine, you have no idea.
oh, I think I've seen some memes. Is
Oh
that
my
so?
God.
There's a meme out
Yes.
there. There's a meme out there where you've got the mother, the young mother with the child saying, talking very kind and nice to it, and then you've got the grandmother basically saying,
Me,
"What the hell are you doing? Get over there!"
me. My daughter will let the kids scream for hours. She won't stop them. I'm like, are you effing kidding me? How could you let it go on? Their little, she starts with their little brains can't take it. And I'm like, you know, you're full of it. Where are you getting this junk from? And now what's happening is, so there was 10 years of this gentle parenting, and it seems like it's backfiring on them because the memes are coming out like crazy. And all my friends that their kids, same thing. And they're saying the same thing. We all made fun of our kids that were doing this gentle parenting because there's no consequence. It's like,
Let's
oh, you know,
let's
they
take a
can
look at this
scream.
gentle parenting. This is a boomer mom. Okay,
Okay. Oh, I'm telling you.
can you hear it?
What's your plan here? I don't even know my plan. Do you know your plan? Don't stop it, your sister. Don't say stop. Say gentle. Gentle what? Gentle hands. Gentle hands? Gentle. Everything. Gentle everything. I'm so proud of you. I'm not supposed to tell kids you're proud of them. I know, but that's putting the focus on you. I am so proud. Don't say that. Should I say it instead? You should be so proud. I am so proud. No, it's back on you again. Hey, hurry up. We gotta go. Don't rush. We're fine. Don't rush. We're fine. I thought we were in a hurry. If you rush children, it makes them anxious. No hurry. You always rush and I'm anxious. Never rushed. We were always late. Exactly. And I was anxious because we were always late. Am I supposed to say that?
Oh my God.
This way. Good job. Good choice. Thank you. No. Say good choice.
I'm telling you, this is me and my daughter. You have no idea. And she's like, she knows I'm crazy Italian, right? And she saw me with my stepson with the wooden spoon, and she's like, you're not allowed to raise your voice. And I was like, what? What do you mean I'm not allowed to raise my voice?
You never tell your woman to, don't yell, don't shout. Oh my God.
My stepson, he's like Wonder Bread. He's so white. He's just like, and one time, oh, my mom, bless her soul, she had dementia. I told you I took care of her until she died, right? And, after a while, when they have dementia and, oh, they can make you nuts. They'll ask you the same question at least 100 times. So finally, one day I had enough, and I banged my hand like a typical Italian. All right, Ma, enough now. You asked me enough. My stepson, not stepson, my son-in-law wanted to leave because I just raised my voice. And I said to my daughter, oh, you better give him a few lessons because I'm not going to change.
Yeah.
They don't know. I mean, they just
Yeah.
have no emotion. I don't know. I don't get it.
So what I don't get is there was some awards on, and I wasn't watching it, and
I wouldn't.
But I haven't watched them in years. But
Beyonce had to win, of course, so that it brings attention
what is
to
it?
her.
Yeah, what was that one guy's son that came out with something on his head? It's all over. It's all over the news. Jaden. Somebody help me out
Yes.
there.
Jaden Smith.
Yeah. Did you hear? I'll just show you this here. So there are so many memes going around, and this is fun stuff, you guys. It really is. So this is that Ukraine guy with a washing machine on his head. They showed one with Trump. He had the White House on his head.
No way.
And I can't think of his name. Anybody out there? What was his name that went to the awards with this? I don't know what it looked like, a castle on his head. So, geez, I can't think of the name of it. I'm sure nobody here watched it, so I'm lost for words.
Yeah. Of course not. Why would we? That was like the first thing I said. No way. There'll probably be satanic commercials just to wake us up more. And I wonder what's going to be this year with the Super Bowl. Remember how effed up it was last year? They wanted to wake people up and it was satanic looking and everybody was trying to decode it. Do you remember that last year?
Yeah, I didn't watch it though.
Well, I didn't either, but I watched the decodes. And basically last year was all about waking up the sleepers.
Yeah.
So I really wonder this year what it's going to be. If it's going to be run by the White Hats, or it's going to be, what it always is, to continue to wake up people.
They're saying out on Rumble that it was all scripted. Jaden Smith, this is it. So this is the original picture. He went to these awards. I don't know what the hell that is. It's some sort of a castle on his head. But let me tell you, it's making everybody's really making fun of it. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
So let me just
go ahead.
Then they got this other guy with a toilet seat on his head.
That's Will Smith's son.
Right, exactly. So this is Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, at the Grammys. While what he's wearing is ridiculous, there was a real sadness in this kid's eyes. As a dad, this hurt my heart, to be honest. So, this kid got abused like what's the other guy, Beaver?
Yes, I believe he did. Yes.
So I think this is his sister with him. Why Will Smith's children turn out like this? Let me blow it up a little bit so you guys can
Yeah.
see this.
They've been abused. That's why.
If this was scripted, as Decoder is saying out on Rumble, they're letting us know how bad it is, and then of course the memes are going to follow. But I don't
Yeah.
understand this. It's basically just showing darkness, very much darkness.
Very dark. So, wow.
You
And nobody
disappeared.
explained it. That's so weird.
What?
The thing on his head.
Yeah, I don't
And
know. I don't know.
nobody made a comment. Nobody asked him what it was. No. Oh, come on.
Anybody out in the chat know what that is? Decoder, do you know what that was? Even though she says it was scripted, Colleen said all will be exposed. Yeah. It's just crazy, crazy shit. They're just showing us how absurd that they are at this point. We can laugh at it. Should we be concerned about these children as you're talking about? Yes, we should. I don't know how old he is, but I think he's older. And he's been abused.
They abuse them. It's their way of life.
He would kiss him on camera, mouth to mouth kisses. That boy's been abused.
Oh, yeah.
So if they're just exposing all that, so
That's
anyway,
what it is. They're still waking up the sleepers. There's still a lot of people sleeping.
yeah. So what else? Do you have anything else you want to share with us? We're already at the hour. If you want to continue, we can continue.
No, that's not it. I just want everybody to know the bird flu is coming. Please don't get vaccinated. Get your homemade hydroxychloroquine or quinine or zinc. Get your stuff out and start taking it. We were all sick already. Florida's been getting slammed into thin air. Have you ever seen him on X, Into Thin Air? He does a lot of decodes on the weather. He's really good.
Be careful of him. I'm just saying this. I even post some things out there. He's trying to let everybody know that we're going to war. There's an eternal war. And I finally said to him, hey, look, we've been in a spiritual war for a very long time. I put in there, are you just finding this out? And you got to be very careful.
Just waking up, yeah.
No, I think he's been planted. I really do, and there's a lot of them that've been planted. And we're going to start seeing more and more of those, and it's starting to come out. There's just people out there saying that all these influencers, now that we're going to basically see the truth.
By.
There's
when they flip the switch, they'll all be gone. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the dark ones will be gone. They'll just leave.
Oh, that's what you're saying. I don't know.
There's so many, Janine. There's so many. I mean,
well,
did you ever read Outwitting the Devil? Did you ever read that book?
No.
Oh my God. Really, really good book. And I read it a while back. I had a metaphysical store, I told you. So that was one of my favorite books. And that was 2014 when I read that. He was saying back then, 98% of us, he was controlling. The devil was talking to the person that wrote the book. The person that wrote the book was very famous. And he didn't release it until he died, like years later, because the devil said he would, mess up his family if he did release that conversation. And I was freaked out then when I heard about it. I just couldn't even believe it. But now it's very easy to believe, knowing all the corruption.
All those little earbuds that everybody puts in their ears, and they don't really understand that how technology works and how they're using it against us. So, there's a lot of mind control. there was a lot that was being done on so many different levels, and a lot of people were warned not to use those. And I had Gene Decode on my channel many times talking about that, and everyone I know that uses them, they didn't hear the devil. So it's more fear porn, depending on who you're listening to. All that I basically do is I pray, and
I do too.
yeah, keep it
I
light.
clear myself a lot. I do clear myself
Yeah.
and do my prayers in the morning, and it's a clearing. And
Yeah.
I always, yeah, you ever, I have, and I
Too
have
many
a
important.
vibration machine that I run in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this was good that you came on here with us. So I think on Saturday, if the guys are both available, Buckshot and Joey G, and also Jackie Chapman, we're going to do a round table. If you want
Okay.
to join us, you're more than welcome on Saturday Night Live. It'll probably go 2 to 3 hours. Everyone wanted to get together. People
That would
out
be
of Rumble said, let's do a round table. And it'll be, we just have to be careful not to talk over each other. So that I think besides that, it should be a lot of fun. If you have a special topic, or if you just
Yes,
want to join in,
Colleen. It
pardon?
was Napoleon Hill. Thank you, Colleen. She always comes up with the answers. Thank you. It was Napoleon Hill that wrote that book, and it was Napoleon Hill that the devil visited and gave him. It was a really good book. I must have read it 5 times, Janine. It was a
Colleen, did you read it, Colleen? She must have, huh?
really good book.
Yeah.
Opened my eyes. It started to awaken me. He came to Napoleon Hill, and they had this conversation, and then Napoleon Hill transcribed it and released it about, his secretary released it maybe 25 years later or so.
Yeah. So I guess on Saturday we're just going to talk about current events. What's going on with the tariffs and whatever else, and let's just pray, hope and pray there's no more plane, trains, or automobile accidents, and everybody stays safe. And other than that, I don't have anything else, and I want to wish everyone a great evening. What do you want to say in closing?
Stay in the light. Stay in the light. Don't let them scare you with the news. Who knows what they're lying to us about? We won't know until we really find out. And the best thing that we could do to help ourselves is keep our vibrations high.
Yeah, and just keep continuing to use your discernment out there. There's a lot of people are going to put, depending on who you follow, they're going to put twists and turns on things and try to connect the dots for you. But like I said, if it's not aligning with you, then, you just kind of, take it for whatever it's worth. But everybody has their own interpretation, because there are no answers right now.
Right now.
We're getting to the point that there will be answers. We've gotten some of the answers, but we still need more time, and we still have to get our country straightened out from all the corruption. And once we start to see that, I think we'll start to see more of tribunals and stuff like that I hear about at a certain level. I don't think that we're going to, I don't think there's going to be an EBS. I don't think they're going to play 24/7 on the radio and on television like everybody said, and everyone was waiting for the shoe to fall with the stock market. Stock market may drop a little bit because of what I'm seeing today, but I
Well, it
don't
did
see
last week. Remember? I thought that would be it, because they're claiming February we should see something with the financials.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to hurt everybody. No, I think he's doing it very easily, very softly.
Yeah. So if you see something, say something. There's places you can go to now to report things. If you see a child being abused and verbally or whatever, speak up, say something. Just remember, that could, you don't want to see that happen to that child. The kids don't need to feel the pain anymore. That's all that I could say.
Keep a close eye on your kids. Know where they are at all times.
And other people's kids too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank
And
you.
we'll see you next time. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.